He's now got here and he's refusing to move so that I can tip it, mate. So this is my situation.
So welcome back to EveryTrade behind the build. Hope you had a nice weekend, guys. I was at Centre Parks, which is mega, but it's a bit of a rip-off, isn't it? It's such a good business model that I can't help it when I'm in places like that, and Alex is the same. I always do the numbers and think, oh, how much are they making? And I think about just the cost of a Starbucks is like 20-30% more than it would be if you were anywhere else, but you're a captive audience, aren't you? It's such a good business model that. So yeah, as you can see there, Project 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗓 finally got some concrete into the ground. So it's a two-stage pour, that just the way it's been sectioned off, and some of the shuttering we've got to do. So Rhino have poured the first bit, and hopefully before the end of this episode we'll get back there to see the rest of the concrete poured, which means that Adam, Eve and Mike can jump on the brickwork next week, and they are chomping at the bit. It's hard to sort of sequence all these jobs because we're getting really busy now, as probably most of you guys are as well. This is the busy season, isn't it? Everyone's starting to press go on their projects, and obviously the weather's improving, so everybody wants to build either spring, summer. So it all kind of rolls into one, and half of our battle is just to try and manage people's expectations and making sure that you're spreading your resourcing, your men and your manpower in the right places, and not spreading yourself too thin. Been there. Back in the day, a couple of years ago, we used to have 20, 24 jobs on the go at once, and thought it was amazing, like all this work, and turnover was really high. But when we actually looked at profit, we were probably into loss-making territory. There's a few reasons why that was happening. It wasn't just because we were too busy, material prices after COVID and things like that. But what you find is when you try and keep up with all your work demand, you spread yourself too thin, you end up bringing trades in that probably aren't good enough, and then you end up doing things 2-3 times. So it's nice now because I feel like we've got right down to a core team of guys, and backed up with some really good subcontractors. That means that wherever we take a job on, as long as we don't take too much on at once, we'll do a good job, which is what we want, which is how you grow businesses. So I'll be in Liverpool in about 5 minutes, but in the interim, let's head over to Project 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗓. You remember that's our single story rear and side extension build project. Adam and Eve smashed it out of the park and finished it a week early, which meant it's pretty much sat still for a week. However, that's just the way it goes sometimes. Rob and Matt, our dream team joiners, are over there now getting the roof structure on. So let's have a look. I'm outside the Emperor shop, and look who just bumped into the main man, Christian, sporting the old school EveryTrade. You need to get in one of these new stealth ones. I don't know if you've seen these, but look, stealth mode, look, with EveryTrade on the back. So basically a few people have been saying that they can't quite understand what Alex is saying, so I'm going to do a little bit of translation for him. So just one, say that again, I'll translate.
So welcome back to Greenbank.
So welcome back to Greenbank.
So today we're going to go inside, show you the look around, show Chris for the first time.
That's a tough one, that. So, Chris, my business partner, is much better looking than me, and I'm so lucky to have such an inspiring business partner. Let's go and have a look at our shop, lad.
The glue or something?
Is this ours?
It's ours, yeah.
I need this in my house.
Yeah, so we invested in buying one of these, and it was actually Lindsay's idea, because we pay all the time for external companies to come in and clean mattresses and carpet and stuff on our tenanted properties. So we decided to buy one ourselves, a little bit of an investment. Yeah. But we can now charge it out.
Very good.
And do our own.
Good, that, innit?
It's good, yeah. It's actually got a little bit of a leak, but...
Yeah, the best thing.
So...
It's mega in here. Do you know what I'd say? Oh, there's some mud on the floor here, it's why we need it. This actually is bigger when you're here than it looks when you're on YouTube. The difference between this and the EveryTrade office is a joke. We've got like we got old second-hand OSB on the wall, and this is like a luxury. This is basically 𝗕𝗨𝗃𝗟𝗓 in a shop, basically.
Still not fully finished yet.
Oh, it's got that new smell though, hasn't it? I love it.
So we're going to put like an Emperor's logo or something there.
Even the monitors and the printers all colour-coded as well.
Right,
all the screens, you got your screens, Linz.
I know. Just
nice,
nothing on you, are they? No.
Yeah, you can.
So we've got the one on the front as well. Again, just need to Kevin now. It's all powered up. Need to get a thing set up for it. But this is going to have our stuff on, similar to what you've got.
Do you know you have cameras outside our properties? Is there a way we can have like the feed?
Yeah, we can have the feed as well. But we're going to do it for maintenance and stuff like a rent roll and all that.
That's good. Yeah, like get all the KPIs on
like a calendar.
But you got enough there to keep going, really. You can have loads on it.
Yeah. So we're starting with them for now and then see how we get on. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, this is mega.
There's a few little things need to fix on it, like they're not the best to be honest. But once I've got to get a desk for mine and then bring the same one of these over.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So still got very, very minimal furniture at the minute. Just got like a little chair there.
It's a joke. So Alex has got a better car than me, and he's got a better office than me. It's a joke. So this is it. I've decided we're going to spend some money on the EveryTrade office. This work? No.
It's not plugged in, no. It's a bit, I've got another one of them, as I say, to put here at home. But I need to buy a desk at home first. But all these cables here to do me head in. A few things, but I'll still got time in it. A bit of air
conditioning as well. Oh man, this is lovely.
Yeah, but there's a few little things need to fix, like that's got packers on. Yeah. Big packers there, you can see, you know, so.
Rome was a building. All right, okay, so what? That door there?
The basement, that. Gonna go down.
I forgot it's always changed, oh wow.
So.
This is nice.
The heater's been turned off for now.
It's cold down here, yeah.
That's the monitor there, it'll go on there, it's a touchscreen on that.
Oh, is it?
You can do interactive with it, yeah, and draw.
So the idea is, when this is all properly set up, Alex and I are going to do maybe a podcast from here. We might also, we've been talking about it behind the scenes for a while, do some training, some mentoring, do some Q&As. Maybe, we maybe should talk about it. We're going to launch a website, EveryTrade University, which is going to be initially just some documents that we use to run and build our businesses on the construction side, on the property side, on the project management side, stuff that we've built over the years that are invaluable for what we do, but we're going to put them on a website, on like a Shopify website, so you guys can purchase them. Not expensive, we're going to be fair with it, but it's documents we've built over the years, haven't we? So
and then it's probably going to progress into us doing like little small mini courses maybe to begin with.
Yeah.
And like little key aspects of business.
Because we get asked all the time, do we do mentoring, do we do, you know, do we have documents that people can buy? And at the start I was doing a few bits, we were doing these ask me anything calls, and they're good, but it's because we're so busy, it's just hard to fit them in. So, but we are going to try and make a proper business out of that, because we're not really earning anything off YouTube, are we, lad?
YouTube. I mean, I don't think ever.
Only person Hollywood Annihilated everyone's getting out of our YouTube.
These two get fortunes.
Yeah, it's fine.
So yeah, I said on the preferred channel, we spend more on coffee in a week, even though we don't know about a coffee machine.
Oh yeah.
We spend more on coffee in a week than we get from.
No, I've got to talk about this on quickly. I mean, you'll have to watch. You'll have to watch the preferred episode next week, because Alex is more organised. Alex and now they're a week ahead. But basically,
because Chris is like day by day life, isn't it?
I know. Yeah, it's literally
not day in the life. It's day by day.
Yeah, it's on the fly basically. But Alex was telling me he just purchased a posh coffee machine for his house, and only 𝗕𝗨𝗃𝗟𝗓 can do this, right? So we could justify spending how much?
1700 quid.
700 quid on a coffee machine, which, you know, if you're into coffee, fair enough. He built himself a spreadsheet, yeah? And he's worked out how long it's going to take him to get an ROI, return on investment, on his coffee machine. So how long now?
So it'll take 7 to 8 months. If me and me missus have a cup of coffee a day each, buying the beans, the milk and all that, we should get the dough back on the machine in like 6 to 7 months.
There you go. And then he still retains the asset, is what we've been saying as well, so he can sell it and go again.
And you have people coming round, you can give them coffee, so it's...
You should charge them.
Start charging.
Yeah, at the door.
Put that on the sheet.
yeah. That's mad. So yeah, so Alex basically is the only person ever met that's done a spreadsheet.
It's just peace of mind.
P&L for an appliance.
Yeah.
It's good though.
It's on zero now.
Yeah. We should sell that document on the
that's going to be on every uni. Yeah, you can buy that.
Yeah. So yeah, this is good though. This room, I mean, that's why I love basement conversions as well, because this, when we first bought this, was just a dump on it.
It was empty. Yeah, it wasn't even a room. It was just.
So we've tanked it, haven't we?
Yeah, full. It's got the pump in down there, which takes all the water out. Fully insulated, soundproof. It's got a little bit of a storage cupboard there, which Lindsay wanted a bit bigger for all files, which again, we haven't got to that point yet. But we're going to put an Emperor sign there as well, so when we're doing like a conference, the camera's on us, you'll get the logo behind. Yeah. If it's podcast stuff as well.
And you know what? Like, in all seriousness, you're a product of your environment, and I feel like you do better work if you work in a nice environment. So it's really important for us, for this business, that the people working here, also people coming in here, be it landlords, potential people selling their properties, can see that we take things seriously. We've invested a lot of money into making this shop a really nice product. And what's amazing from a business point of view as well, we've got HMO above, which is chaos at the moment, so we're not going to go up there, but this is the perfect strategy for us. We found somewhere with a shop that we could put a tenant in if we weren't here and it'd generate income, but also we've got one of our HMOs, 6-bedder in it.
6-bed, yeah.
Yeah, so
that's all done, signed, due to move it in 1st of July, so we need to get moving.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
And then that'll basically pay for all of this.
Yeah. So it's a really nice strategy, and with something that we've got. Well, we've got another place of a shop as well, haven't we? On the
got a few,
yeah. So
we are upstairs. Show you upstairs to the back.
It's warm up here. It's freezing down there. Let's shut that door.
Yeah, so that was in mine. That.
Oh yes.
So I thought I had nowhere else to put it when I moved, and thought I'd keep it for the office.
That's what a minute. Is that electric? That. It's good, that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. They're all electric. All electric.
This is nicer than most people's houses. It's a joke.
Little mirror, you know what I mean, for your bathroom and that, boom. And then kitchen.
Yeah.
Just needs a putting in down there, sorting out a little bit.
It's lovely.
Coffee machine, now I've got a new one. I brought my old one here.
We've done that, yeah. Oh yeah, so it's upgrade from that.
So that's what we had, an espresso.
About 2 cups and he's got the return on investment on that one.
That's been paid for now, that one.
Yeah. It actually is a posh one, actually.
That's a good one, that's,
Yeah. It's a good I just don't like coffee. But
espresso one.
I'm not joking, my first apartment when I moved out was nowhere near as nice as this. It's a joke.
So at the back, what we're going to do once the scaffold's down is then build a maintenance storage bit.
It's a good idea, that.
Which will basically have all our maintenance stuff that we have. And basically it's in mine or my dad's and Christine's at the minute in other storage. We're going to put it all there and have like a kit of stuff that we need day to day. Spare microwaves and stuff, spare like little hobs to cook on after the hob breaks. Obviously all our paint.
Yeah, it's good. Can you access from the back as well then?
You're going to go from there and from there, yeah. It's got power going out, it'll have lights, heater, sockets. Yeah. So, nice, isn't it?
Love it. So it's been really interesting to have a look round the shop, and we've got big plans for it. As we've said downstairs, if you are in the area, you're a landlord or you want to sell your property, give us a chance. I know we're one of the new kids on the block, but Lindsay's very, very experienced. We've got all the right setup, very professional. We've put loads of money into it and there's loads of energy, and we believe we can do just a good job, if not better, than anyone out there on the market, because we are owners of property ourselves, we're landlords, we're developers, so we know how to do it. But yeah, it's good. I mean, when I first started coming to Liverpool to meet Alex, probably 5-6 years ago, we had basically, Alex had a few houses, there was nothing like this, and what we've built in such a short period of time has been amazing. And to see this just come together, bearing in mind I've not been here for ages, is inspiring. So yeah. Love it. So that's it. Busy day in Liverpool. The shop is looking mega, absolutely buzzing to see that come together. I'm now being chauffeured around by Mr. Riddick in his posh car. We're going over to meet someone about maybe doing some business on the property side. But whilst I'm doing that, let's go back to Manchester and see how we're getting on in the yard.
Alright, so I've just attended site here to check out this Parker crusher that they're having issues with the clutch. When they're engaging the clutch, it seems to be clogging the jaw up and stopping the jaw from crushing. One thing I have noticed that the jaws need turning on the jaws need turning within the jaw box. That'll give it a sharper crush rather than a flat crush like that, which will make the clutch slip. The clutch plates looks like they do need changing, to be honest. I don't know how many hours are on the machine, but I think we'll be changing the clutch plates and turning the jaws pretty soon on this crusher. But whilst we're in this yard, I think Chris wants us to do a quick walk round on that screener down there, and it will be due a service very soon. So I'll get that service, but I'll do the inspection on the actual screener itself. Meanwhile, I want to find out why this machine keeps stopping and shutting down. Hear it surging? Hear it surging now? Shouldn't be surging like that. Yeah, so we've got some big material in the jaw box here now that it's struggling to crush. Now if it had sharp jaws in it, it'd crush it easy. Maybe the jaws need opening up slightly to let the material go through a little bit bigger. You've got small material coming off the end of the belt. So yeah, the boys here at EveryTrade want as small material off the end of the belt as possible. So this little crusher's struggling at the moment with the flat jaws.
So I'm down at Project 𝗕𝗓𝗓, as you can see, and I'm with the main man, Timmy Magic, who's basically the most versatile man at EveryTrade. People think Dale is the Swiss Army knife, however, Tim finds himself on all sorts. Were you tiling earlier this week?
Yeah.
So this week he was tiling.
Yeah.
What else have you done this week?
I can't remember.
You don't remember. But I know you were tiling, and then he got 2 hours work, he got told, to come and do a bit of the shuttering, ready for the next step of the concrete. And how long have you been here for, Tim?
Since 8 o'clock.
And it's now 10 to 3. So Tim gets stitched up quite a bit, but it's not boring working for us though, is it?
No,
Tim?
no, it's good.
Yeah.
I get left alone as well.
We do leave you alone, and he does basically, we feel a bit sorry for Tim because he often goes in right at the end and sorts the snagging out and has to make the miserable customers happy when other people can't be bothered doing their job properly. Yeah. But next week, actually, Tim, I'm going to jump on that camper because Tim is also our in-house camper converter. He's done a camper for us before, which I'll put on screen now. Yeah. You do your own. It's a bit of a hobby sideline, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just finishing. Well, I've just nearly finished one now.
Why can't you do your own YouTube channel doing campers? That'd be bigger than this channel.
I don't even know how to turn the telly on.
It's funny.
We didn't have a telly for 5 years because I kept asking her to turn it on and off. So I come home and the telly was gone.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Tim actually said, but Tim, you had an accident once, didn't you? And basically, he should have been dead. I think you were technically dead, weren't you?
Cardiac arrest a couple of times.
Yeah. And
neuropathic brain damage. spinal cord damage, kidney damage. What else?
How long was that before you started working for us?
That was in 2006.
And that was an accident at work, and you hit an electric cable, didn't you?
Yeah, 11,000 volts. 11 kVA, straight from the substation.
So you actually, your heart did stop, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It only saved me because a motorbike paramedic was coming past.
But since so, you basically had to learn how to read, write.
Yeah, I struggle a bit still. And then I had problems with my throat because the nerves were damaged. Just loads of rubbish, really.
You're basically a freak of nature, but look, well, obviously, luckily for us, he came to work for us about 8 years ago now.
Yeah, coming on.
And we've not let him leave since. But
only come for a couple of days part-time work.
I know he did, and he came originally as a ground worker.
Yeah.
I took another lad on, and he was rubbish.
Yeah.
And Tim basically did twice as much work with him. We've kept him on. And I bet you haven't really done that much groundwork for us, have you? Really, since?
No.
We just realised he can do a bit of everything.
I was a snagger for 20 years for Persimmon Homes, nearly, wasn't
I bet they kept you busy at Persimmon, snagging at Persimmon.
Yeah. I only left because of the accident.
Yeah.
Because they told me, oh, we'll look after you.
Yeah.
And then the main man, like, I'd been there for that long, he retired.
Yeah.
And then it was just new people. Like,
yeah, that's it.
Then my stomach lining, like, something happened to my stomach lining and my bladder. The bladder ripped or something, I can't remember, but blood got into my bladder and things like that. So
you are lucky to be alive then, aren't you?
I only got signed out of the hospital last year. Because I was still going to the hospital all the time.
Yeah. But it's like Tim, if it could happen to anyone, it happened to Tim. So whilst Tim's been with us, you witnessed the murder in your front garden, didn't you?
Yeah, an armour attack.
One of the stories, I remember, he saw someone what he thought had broken down outside his house. So Tim, being a good Samaritan,
I was in my slippers.
He went out to give him a push. Anyway, he got done for twacking, didn't you?
Yeah, and mugging somebody. I wouldn't mind, I still had my slippers on. My wife didn't even realise I'd gone missing.
I thought you'd left one slipper on the road.
One slipper was still in middle of the road. 8 hours I was at the police station.
You know what though, he still turned up for work though.
Yeah.
And then, I know, coming back from that job, where was it, down south, you saw someone... someone who was...
crashed in the car and the car set on fire. Andy dragged the other girl out. There was 2 girls. Andy dragged one girl out and I dragged the other one, and she was completely in shock. She was scratching my face and she was just in shock, but she didn't realise.
The car was on fire, wasn't it?
Yeah, the car was on fire,
So he saved someone's life, what a guy.
Yeah.
So never a dull day with Tim. But Tim, we appreciate you, you're a top man. Yeah. Thank you for your help, mate. Let's have a look round. It's a fair play to Rhino. They've done a mega job of the concreting. It is so level and so smooth, ready to build off of next week, but they've got the next phase to go. I think everybody has underestimated how much work's gone into these groundworks. Don't think Rhino have made money. We certainly have lost money, but we're just in too deep now. We've got to keep going. You could definitely build a skyscraper off these footings. The next stage, next week, last bit of concrete, bit more cage work, then we're away. Adam, Eve and Mike are scheduled to start on Tuesday, and I think that's when this job will really start taking shape. We want to be finished in 6 months, and I think that's doable because essentially it's just a box that we're building now. This is some of the shuttering that Tim's done. What I love about Tim, amongst loads of other things, because he's such a loyal, lovely guy, what you see is what you get, he's so reliable, is that he's used some of the shuttering that we've used elsewhere that maybe some of the other guys would have just chucked in the skip and gone and got some more, or picked some up from our stores, but he's actually dismantled it and reused it, because obviously that's probably what, 30, 40 quid, say probably a bit less, but there's other stuff elsewhere. Over in the yard, it's been a bit mad in the yard, but we had Welderfabber in yesterday, and him and Dale did a little collaboration, which was good, but Dale has also been busy sorting the ram out, or one of the rams out, on the baby grab, and he's also put some tracks onto the 5-tonner. Now, we keep wrecking tracks. I mean, I say keep, but we've had one for 18 months and I've just had to replace another one, and I got rubber. Really, we need metal tracks in the yard, but to replace both sets, just for the materials, I was looking at 2,600 in the bits and then the labour. So I had to sort of go against my better judgment and just buy another rubber track, and we'll basically run that into the ground, and then down the line I'll bite the bullet and replace both sides. So I've asked Dale as well to try and show cousin Alex the rope. So I've mentioned about Alex, my cousin, before. his dad, Paul, was my very first business partner. Paul and I set up this business over 16 years ago now. And Paul's gone, I bought him out, but Alex come to work for us last year. He's got a degree in physics, very, very clever lad. And I want to show him every area of the business and see where he excels. To be honest, he's excelled everywhere. I'll give him little projects to look after, little jobs, little efficiencies that I want him to make, and it's been amazing. But I want to show him Dale's side of the business now, so if needs be, he can drop into that and back Dale up. So let's see how Dale and cousin Alex got on in the yard.
So, what you planning on doing today, Alex?
Help you.
The
new ramp back on.
Put that ramp?
Yeah.
Where's it going? Do you know?
Going along here, you've got the hose that needs connected to it. It gets bolted on the inside. And I can't actually tell if there's enough, there'll be enough bolt on the end of your tube.
Going into this there. So unload with the split pin.
Right, okay.
Sits in on there.
Yeah.
On one end. This end.
Goes that way round, doesn't it?
Yeah. That end then goes into that shaft over there. So it will be a bit short, the ram's not actually out, so you get that end. And what you'll have to do, you'll have to lift it, slot it onto there, and you slot it through that hole, but you might have to pull the shaft out of it.
Right, okay.
Yeah? So it's in, mine side's in there. And yours is...
You've only got like a couple
just about there, isn't it?
just about. Got to look like a couple of threads on it and that's about it.
Yeah. So that will lock back into there. I'll split pin in there. I'll just show you the other side. There's some washers in there. Tighten this up to this section here, which will then push this leg all the way out. So that's that fixed. Just gonna get Alex now to try it out. First of all, press this button here. Then Alex should be able to do the last bit. And there we go. Go on, back in, Alex. Go. Nice and new, no leaks. What to say? Job well done. In a bit.
So some more of the shuttering and some more of the cage work that's gone in. Absolute monstrous. I'd say this is probably the most complex bit of groundworks we've done. It's great because essentially it is all just logic and it's all over-engineered and over-designed by the engineers. Everyone's trying to cover their backs, but because this is mine and Alex's building, we want it for the rest of our lives. You don't want any issues. We've also got a responsibility to the other properties around. So if it's overkill, it's overkill. We'd rather it stay up forever. Something else we want to stay up forever is the apartment development job we've got over Project 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗗. We are another level up now. So if you remember last week, we got the second floor in. Now we need to get the steel in for the third and final floor. And then we can measure for the posi joists. They need to be ordered to size because there's not much tolerance in them. They're a great product, but it's a bit of a lead time. You can't just go and get timber from the merchant. So let's go and have a look and see the steel going in at Project 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗗. Stunning concrete in this. Fair play, Rhino. Check out their channel, remember? Rhino Productions. It's pretty similar to ours in that Brad's a really entrepreneurial guy and he's just trying to build his business empire like ours. So, Newcastle, we've got a project over there. It's a tasty one. I told you about it a few weeks ago. It's for a new client, but it's a client I've worked with elsewhere before. They've got big, big plans and we are so happy to be part of it. I'm going to need some trades. We're going to send down a core team led by Bizzo, you know, Sean, who you've met before, but I'm going to need to put more men around him. So we're looking for self-employed joiners, plumbers, tilers. We're looking for a painting contractor. We've got contacts already, but we're trying to build. The job has got to be done in such a short period of time that we're trying to build a real hit squad. We'll have 10 weeks over the summer to do it. We're starting mid-June. So if you are in the Northeast and you've got some availability this summer and you want to work with us at EveryTrade, we'll pay you weekly. You won't be waiting for your money. There'll be regular work for about 11 weeks and then beyond, because there's more stuff coming up, and there'll definitely be more stuff coming up next summer as well. So yeah, get in touch. Contact us on Instagram ideally, because I check that more. That's every_trade, or go on our website, which is everytrade.co.uk, and get a message to us. So if you're a self-employed tradesman or you're a contractor, a small contractor, and you want to get involved and work with EveryTrade in the summer, then get in touch. So yeah, pretty much done here now. I keep missing Rhino. Come down to see them and then they've got off. But they're good lads and they know what they're doing, and they're doing a good job, and that's the most important thing. So I wanted to thank you for all the nice comments about my mum's camper. You saw Tim before, he's going to help sort that out. My mum was absolutely made up with it, even though it's old and it needs a bit of TLC. I would have liked to have bought her a flashier one, but she honestly, that meant so much to her. I can't tell you how. Oh, bit of an RTA here. Turn the camera on this. That wasn't very good. And keep my head down. Don't want to be called to witness it. But yeah, hope that doesn't happen to my mum. See if it kicks off, we might get some decent views here. Nightmare. Might need this footage in court, Hollywood. So yeah, thanks so much for all your kind comments about my mum. My mum is absolutely made up. Someone said my mum should start a YouTube channel, but I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, yeah, it's nice to be able to help my mum, and she deserves so much, and I'm really going to make sure. I'm going to get the camper in the workshop and do a proper number and then surprise her again. So I'll bring you along on that journey as well. But I'm going to check everything's okay over there.
Must be for
Pipes and that, yeah. It's all right, this one. The guy that had this one before you really looks after it, so yeah. Oh, leather interior, man, spoiling you. Yeah, needs a valet like, doesn't it? But they always do. It was a bricky, he had it, so yeah. So
well, I started as a tiler, so I understand the dust.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know, that's it. Good, mate. Happy days. So there you see, another one of our vans going to Jack from Liverpool, who is one of our maintenance operatives over there, looking after mine and Alex's portfolio, but also for other people as well. So it's good. It's nice that we've been able to move the fleet about. What we've done is transferred the ownership of that van to our property company, which is good. It's tax efficient that as well, apparently. So that leaves this van coming back, which is kind of the van that nobody really wants because it's bigger. It's probably a bit too big for us. It's actually in pretty good shape. This is the van actually that Welderfabber had, I think. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Might sell it. Let me know if you're in the market. It's pretty well looked after. Apparently there's a little AdBlue issue which you're going to sort out. But it's good. Got a good fleet. Love the fleet. There you go. Jack leaving in that now. Nice van that. That was a brickies van. In good shape. Need to tell him that you can't get out that way. Love it. In HQ, found this. What this is for, you saw Project 𝗕𝗨𝗟, Rob and Matt are doing the roof. Now we've got a crank steel detail going in there. So essentially to support the roof and the brickwork detail above it, we've got to do some steel work, which will essentially go like that. So to get the actual angle and pitch of it right, the guys have made a template. So this template, we're going to fabricate some steel. Dale's going to do it downstairs in the workshop, and it's going to fit round this perfectly. And so that will become our window frame size. And the idea is that the window will run perfectly in line with the pitch of the roof. And if it doesn't, my OCD will go off the scale. In last week's episode, I give a little shout out to my lovely wife, Rachel, on a wreath little side hustle that she's got going. And a few of you guys actually ordered some wreaths. She was absolutely made up because I didn't tell her. And she all of a sudden just started seeing these orders come through. I didn't want to put pressure on because I know they're not the cheapest, but the people that have bought them have given amazing feedback. The quality is amazing. She's really good at what she does. And actually, one of the guys, Craig, popped in, got a picture there this week to collect it. And I spent 5 minutes, actually spent a bit longer with him, just chatting about business. And he's from the area, and we've talked about maybe doing some business down the line. So I'm pleased. So sort of two birds and one stone, get to meet some of you guys and also get to keep my wife happy. Happy wife, happy life. Our kid who runs the Grabs just made me aware of a situation. Basically, we have been working for this customer for a while, and what he has us doing is grabbing out of a skip, which is pretty common practice, it seems, especially on tighter roads. So we get in there, usually with our baby grab, because it's a smaller amount. Again, we're lucky that we own a baby grab, and we've got the luxury of being able to offer people lower costs because it's a smaller load and we can get into tighter spaces. On this occasion, we went in our 𝗕𝗨𝗟. He sent us a picture of what looked like a hardcore load, and he's done one exactly like that before. Had a bit of timber on top, but we said, that's fine, don't worry, take the timber off and we'll take the hardcore. He was happy with that. Agreed a reduced price, all sorted. Anyway, we went there yesterday and, good call, went there yesterday, grabbed the load out, and the driver said, it's not all hardcore, this. So we had a quick look and she sent us a picture, and yeah, we said, okay, we're fair with people. So we charged a bit more for what looked like a bit more timber in it, because we know we've got to process that back and it's harder for us to get rid of things like that. Anyway, all good. We've come to the truck this morning and the dig has seen that it's got all sorts in it. Carpet, plastic, tree stumps, all sorts, crazy. So we've called the guy and we said, look, let's be fair, it's not right. And he's like, well, what are we going to do? I said, well, I'll tell you what, we'll run it through the weighbridge at the tip, and whatever we get charged, you just cover it. You'd already paid us a bit, you cover it. We don't want to make a penny out of you because you're a good customer. So he went, yeah, that's fine. So we've come to do that, and then we've got there and basically said, right, it's what you owe. He's like, nope, not having it. So I said, right, we'll bring it back and we'll only charge you half of what the load is. Anyway, long story short, we've gone there today and it's absolutely kicked off big time, and the police have been called. So we're just waiting to see how that pans out right now.
He's now got here and he's refusing to move so that I can tip it, mate. So this is my situation. Someone give me the go ahead here. So the skip is full. Do you want me to just put the rest in front of the skip here? There is still all that to go. So do you want me to kind of use this area here to try and pile the rest up? Someone let me know ASAP, thank you.
So we think this situation now has been resolved. The police were called and the police have been great. They knew it was a civil matter. We knew it was a civil matter. But what's happened is the customer, who's no longer a customer because we're done with him now, has said to the police it was getting heated and our driver was kicking off. Bear in mind, it was Sarah, female driver, who can look after herself, but she wasn't kicking off, and there was about 6 of them. He brought down 6 lads to block her. We were literally loading his skip back, which is what he told us to do, and he wasn't having it because he knew he couldn't have his cake and eating it. The police have come there and basically calmed the situation down, spoke to us and said, look, would you accept what you originally got paid? We managed to put a bit back in the skip, but not, we still got probably 3/4 of a load. Would you accept what you had already, which is I think it was 300 odd quid, and go away and dispose of it and then basically call it a draw? We've said, look, yeah, fine, that's no problem. We don't want to waste your time because you've got more important things to do. We don't want to waste our time because we've got a full day of grabs on. So we've gone to drive off and this guy's jumped in front of the grab and the police have actually restrained him and got him out of the way. He looks like an idiot here because the police know he's banging the wrong. And it seems to be more of this happening. Jay's getting better at weeding it out, but we're getting these certain customers that are saying it's hardcore, we're giving a reduced rate, but they're absolutely hitting us with mixed loads and all sorts. And we train the drivers to spot it and come back to the office and say, what do you want us to do? But we're trusting people turning up without payment and they're trying to do that there and then. And so then they think that we're going to take a view and go, you know what, just do it, because we don't want to waste a journey. So what we're going to do now is start taking deposits and then not leaving until we've got payment. But why would you do that? I don't understand. Like, we've been looking after that guy for about 2 months now, offering him a great service, a reduced price for hardcore, trying to help him save money, tell him to separate his loads so we can keep it cost down. And then he's tried to have us off, and he was on the phone to me trying to give it the big man, saying he's got property there and this, that and the other, and he'll get 10 lads down. Not bothered. Got to take a firm stance with these people to make sure they don't have us off. We'll see. Hopefully it's done now and we can go about our business and there'll be no more ramifications, but that's it. We're getting firmer now and our kid's going to weed them out. Annoying though. So I'm down at the yard, and it's weird, but all 3 of our trucks are here, which is a bad thing because it means they're not out earning us money, but they're actually getting ready to go out. So obviously we've got the 8-wheeler, the Grab, the mainstay of our fleet, about to go out on a delivery, the tipper, which is starting to come into its own because we're able to do bigger deliveries, and we're also able to do muck runs to the tip, which is a bit of a missing link for us, because we can process some of the waste, obviously, but there's stuff that just literally has to go to landfill that we can run that in, and it obviously makes more sense to run it in bigger quantities. And then we've got our 6-wheeler, DAF, which has been out on long-term hire to a utility company. They're not using it today. That's not on our operator's license at the moment, but they're probably going to give us that back in a couple of weeks. And when we get it back, we're going to give it a top to bottom bit of TLC. And then obviously there's the baby Grab, which is getting a bit of work done, which I'll show you in a minute. But it's nice to see our little fleet come together. I've definitely made a decision, and this might come back to haunt me, but I don't think I'm ever going to buy another truck ever again, unless it's brand new. Probably have to replace these trucks as and when they need replacing, but I'm not going to add to this fleet because trucks make your hair fall out. And apparently it doesn't matter how old they are, how new they are, how expensive they were, they still always break down because they're working bits of kit, aren't they? Essentially, they're like plant, and if you don't look after them or you don't treat them right, then they'll break down. But I do love it. You can't beat, from someone that started in his spare bedroom, to see these big machines riding around with our name and our branding and our colours on is a real buzz for me, and I absolutely love it. We're busy in the yard, lots to show you. Let's go have a look. And here is our little baby Grab, the first truck I ever bought. So what happened was, I copied Dave from D&J. He had a Grab, so I thought, I want to do that. We're similar in sort of type of companies, if you like. I thought, I'm going to get into the Grab game. So put a few feelers out, and a local company said, oh, I've got a Grab for you here. I didn't realise what a baby Grab was, I'm not joking, and what an ep4 was. I just thought, oh yeah, this is a Grab. And when I went to see it, I was like, this is massive. And actually, it's tiny. But it's so versatile for a couple of reasons. The crane is a monster on it. Actually, that was a big part of the cost, was the crane, because it got a bigger lifting capacity, it got a bit of a longer reach. I'm sure there's people out there know more about cranes than me. Will tell me I'm chatting, but we think it's a great crane. It's really versatile. You can take the sides down as well, so you can load things on. And it's great because obviously we're based so close to Manchester city centre that we can do sort of smaller grabs in the tighter streets of the city centre, and also just any kind of tighter grab that we've got coming our way. What I've had a little bit of work done. Dale's changed a ram which was leaking everywhere, but whilst it's in, I've had cousin Alex just give it a little bit of a spruce up on the bed. I mean, you can only polish a poo so much, can't you? But it had paint all over it and things like that. So we've prepped it, give it a little rub down and give it a coat of paint. And you know what? It's looking pretty tidy. So yeah, it's weird that all the fleet are here. As I say, it's not a good thing because they're not earning us money, but it's early and it will do. This tent that we've got, so remember I told you about a bit ago that we've purchased this tent and these containers, and this extra bit of yard that we've taken on has been perfect because it gives us a little bit of weather protection to do things like this. And also we've got a bit of spraying to do. We need to spray the body on the big tipper so we can do it in here. Slowly but surely our little yard is taking shape. So the guys are on Brute at the moment, and it does make a massive difference bringing that crusher in from John Wade. It's ridiculous. We've got through more in a day and a half than we would do probably in a whole week with our little crusher, which is there. But that's still going to come in handy because in the sort of interim periods where we are not hiring Wade Group's crusher, we can just top our stock levels up with that. As I say, I've definitely got my feelers out about a bigger crusher, and I know it's something we've got to do, but right now there's just other stuff that I need to pay for. This here then, you can see, I mentioned this in last week's episode, this is the walling stone, that the deal we've done with the Wade Group, where essentially we're now picking this out of our pile, which is quite labour intensive, but we found ways to speed it up, and essentially we're selling this to John for more than we would and then if we crushed it, even though it actually makes a really nice crushed product. But it's actually quite hard to crush. It's such a dense material. So as long as John wants this, we're going to keep doing it this way because it just makes total sense. And it's nice as well that this product is also then going to a second life, which I don't know if that makes other people feel good, but for me, I get a real kick out the thought of something that would just be crushed or sent to landfill or just whatever gets a second life. Nobody knows what the history of these rocks are, but for me, it's nice that they're going to go somewhere and they could be there for another 100 years. Maybe I'm being naive, but I like it. So as you saw earlier in the week, we had a royal visit from Mr. Welderfabber himself, Baz, top guy. He wasn't actually called in by us, he was called in by the Wade Group because of their crusher, like he probably explained. But then he ran me afterwards and it was good to have a catch up with him. He's flying. And again, he credits a lot of that to building his brand and his reputation from social media and YouTube, and he gets so much of his work. He's actually going all around the place now. He was in Ireland the other week and stuff like that. But yeah, he's a good guy, and he's, I was talking about getting a crusher, and he said that whatever you do, if you find one, he'll go and have a look. He won't charge me, he's just going to go and have a look at it for me and tell me whether it's worth buying. He's also putting his feelers out for me as well, but it's good building up that network through YouTube and just being the industry at large of people that just have been at it for years and years and years and are willing to offer up their help and advice. So I'm back at my favourite spot, which is probably the best vantage point of the yard, and I'm watching the guys who are now back from break crushing. It's a nice little system that we've got. So we've got our 14 tonner loading the crusher. Dave is going to jump on that picking line, getting out that walling stone as discussed, and then we've got our 5 tonner, Alan in that there, just organising the pile. My ambition, and we will get there once this yard is finally clear, is to have as little people on the production line as possible, because labour is obviously the most expensive product here. Ideally, we'll load one machine, hopefully our screener, which will in turn load the crusher and then straight onto the pile by using conveyors and things like that. But at the moment, this is working. The dig's got it nice and slick, all the guys know what they're doing, and we're producing a sellable product. I noticed last week that we get quite a few comments from farmers now, and it got me thinking about farmers. And I sometimes feel sorry for myself because how much money we're tipping into this little operation here with the kit we've had to buy, maintain, staffing issues, etc. And I thought about farmers. They have so much kit and they have to work so hard all year round. They don't get a day off, Christmas Day or nothing. And actually, they're not really working for profit. I think everyone thinks that farmers are rich because they own all this land. And correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of farmers, they're working, they're farming just to keep going, because they have inherited their farms from their parents and their parents' parents, and obviously there's that legacy that they have to continue. And again, I could be completely wrong, and I do watch Clarkson's Farm like most of us, but they just literally work harder than pretty much anyone I know about. And if they stop, we don't eat. So that said, I do love yard life, but I've just noticed this. Another broken window. I've got a rough idea who did it. In fact, I know who did it. Usual suspect. And I've had a chat with all the lads about basically taking more care and attention. I don't care about kit. Obviously, it hurts my feelings when things break. I care more about people's safety. And these, for me, are warning signs. Over here, this needs organising. We haven't really got any space at the moment because we've got so much stuff in for processing for the primary aggregate, and honestly, we're really short of space. It seems like as fast as we get everything out and processed, more stuff comes in, which is good because we can monetise it. But the plan is, I want more primary aggregate bays. I've even looked at another yard just over the way, which we could still work alongside this yard, and the idea is this might be our processing area and that'll be our primary aggregates. And I've had a chat with Dave at D&J about maybe supplying us with fence panels, posts and other stuff, so we can try and be that all-in-one supplier. Also, picked up another shipment of concrete blocks from my mates at the Ray Boys. They're doing really well now. They're getting their next volumetric, so they've added another one, so they've got a new grab. They've already got a volumetric, they've got a tipper, and they're getting another volumetric coming next week. And I've said, when they get it, I want to go over there and have a proper look. So if you need any concrete blocks, if you need them in the Midlands, go to Dave. If you need them in the North, go to the Ray Boys. Also, to be fair, Scott at What Mix, my pal, he's good, and he's actually cleared the market up. He's dominating the block market. So let's let the Rays have a little bit of the action. So that is it for another episode of EveryTrade Behind the Build. Hope you've enjoyed it, guys. This episode is pretty much typical of what our business is like. All sorts going on. We've got this operation, we've got the property operation that you saw in Liverpool with Preferred Joinery. Don't forget to watch the Preferred Joinery episode if you haven't watched it. It's out Saturday mornings. And obviously, we've got the construction side. All sorts going on, and I absolutely love it that way. I love our little empire and what we're building, and it's so good to bring it to you guys. Let me know if you guys have got any suggestions or thoughts on our business, where you think we're doing the right thing, the wrong thing. I really do enjoy reading your comments. Have a great rest of the weekend. Relax, spend time with your family. I always say it, but it's so important. It's something that I'm trying to do. Remember why we do this. Next week we'll come back and make some more money. Have a great week, guys.